When I meet with families and talk about the impact of cancer-directed therapy on fertility, it's one of the first times that I see families really get emotional and think about the long-lasting impacts on cancer therapy. But when we talk about fertility preservation options, it's one of the first times we see hope come back. At Seattle Children's, we have timely fertility preservation options available for nearly all patients that is accessible and can be incorporated into cancer therapy. I say that we have one of the best teams in the region for adolescents and young adults and really provide all of the wraparound services for cancer care that really are unrivaled in this region.
I always just assumed one day I'd get pregnant. The fact that I can even have that decision, I think is so important. Dr. Ketterall, he gave me a whole little presentation about the cryopreservation. I'd be the first person to do it. Also just being able to have something to look forward to in the future of here, this will be here if you want it.
We end up having to tell a lot of people that that they're infertile and they're not going to be able to have children. And I think it can be this this second injury that another thing that cancer took from them. And it feels amazing to be a part of a story where we don't have to say that.
Yeah.
We don't have to say this was taken from you.
I say no, and then there's a family with a 5-year-old who's really hesitant that no one else has done it. So that's why I decided to do it.
So it's just this incredible thing that we're able to say, hey, we are actually going to be giving you medications that are likely to make you infertile or struggle with infertility, but we actually can perform a procedure that will potentially give you the ability to have a child later on in life, if that is what you want.
You're going to do this major operation to remove their cancer, but then they're like, oh, but you're also going to take out the ovary, in a good way. And it really does give them some positive thing to focus on, and that we're all thinking about the future and, really trying to make their whole life better in the end.
I think Seattle Children's is great because we are very well resourced. I think that we do a really good job of seeing a patient as a whole person. And I think that us addressing you as an entire person and not just someone that's here to get treatment for a medical diagnosis is something that we do really well.
Faye's fertility was an issue from the beginning, at least for me as a parent, when she was first in the hospital, first diagnosed. With the whole fertility thing, I think having the opportunity for having an ovary taken out was huge. Faye's care team at Seattle Children's was fantastic.